Good morning, guys. Sorry, I'm running a little bit late today. Let me make sure I got this mic right. Okay, yeah, I was having a little bit of problem with the stream. I tried to tweak the OBS settings a little bit, and it didn't really work out that well. Okay, hold on, I got a lag here. Let me fix this. There we go. All right, so yeah, like I said, I was having a little bit of trouble. I was trying to tweak the OBS settings for the stream. At this point, I'm running like a 45 megabyte per second upload speed, and so a really good upload speed. And my computer's an i7 with decent RAM, and so I figured I could probably up the settings a little bit. So the stream should run pretty smoothly. I had to delete my previous stream that I set up this morning just because it wasn't giving it to me in 1080p like I wanted it to, and so I had to kind of create another stream and add that back and kind of mess with it a little bit. But I think I got it working, and it seems to be working well at this point. And so yeah, it looks like it's 1080p on my side. So yeah, it's looking good. Let me catch back up on the chat, guys. Good morning, Nelson, Dulio, Corey, John, Dante, Connie, James. What's up, guys? Rel, Joe, Arian's World, Netron, Live Gains, WL Valores. What's up, man? Lavish Trey. Good morning, guys. All right, so a little slow this morning, not the best. Let's see, we have NBEV running up big. I'm probably going to end up trading some on Robinhood today just because a lot of stuff isn't tradable on TEFs this morning. So kind of frustrating. But I'm watching MLHR, NEPT, ABIL, NIHD, SPWR. I'll go ahead and post my watch list so you guys can see it. So just give me 1 second. I'll post that watch list and see if we get some other big movers that come out. There's my watch list thus far. There's a few other ones I'm watching, but that's basically it. But yeah, you can see NBEV kind of had a crazy day. If you remember yesterday, I bought a put option on TRVG Trivago, and it's back up about 50 cents from where I bought it at. So no, not really. It's up about 25 cents from where I bought it. But the good thing is that I still have a month for this trade. I think the daily looks good. See if we can get back down to this $5 level. Even somebody else was talking to me about it. Even if it drops, even if it doesn't quite drop to $5, I could still sell it for a profit because people are going to be trying to buy it in anticipation of it dropping more. And so yeah, that's what I'm really thinking about doing here. We'll see where it goes, but I'm trying to remember where I bought this option at. It might have been up here at 60s, or it might have been down here. Really, I think it was up here at 70, like 570 is probably where I think it was. So I'm down about 25 cents. But you can see NBEV gapping up from 437 to 547, so nice gap up there. MLHR gapping up from 37.25 to 40. NEPT gapping up from 471 to 485. I'm really watching NEPT. I think it's a little extended from yesterday. And if you look at the 5-day chart, I mean, it's up from this 375 level. It's up about $1, so about 25%. And so it looks interesting here. We'll see where it goes. Or about 20%, sorry, from about $4. But it looks good. Gonna look to possibly short this one depending on how it acts at the open. Let's see. NIHD gapping up from 424 to 480. That one looks okay. SPWR was a mover yesterday. Gonna keep an eye on that one. LIQT gapping up from 152 to 176. I seriously doubt it's tradable, although I wish it was. How much do you need to trade options? I mean, I bought a $20 put. And so, I mean, I threw 175. No, I can't trade LIQT. I threw 175 in my account yesterday. And that's what I bought the options with. It just depends on the price of the stock. Like, if the stock is cheaper, you know, the options are going to be cheaper. If it's a more expensive stock, the options are going to be more expensive. And so it just depends on how good the option is, like how much the stock has to move. Like if the stock has to move up or down, 50% just to work, just for you to be profitable. I mean, the option's typically going to be much cheaper than an option on a stock that only has to move 5% in one direction for it to be profitable. And so it all depends. It all just depends on what the range of the stock is, how much the option's for, what the strike price is, and stuff like that. Um, I use TEFs, which is TradeNet's partnering broker. You can see it on the left side here, Dustin. Um, and so I use Thinkorswim for charting, as you can see on the right, and then I use TEFs on this left side for trade execution. TEFs is TradeNet's partnering broker. TradeNet, you basically pay for an educational package. In my case, I spent $500 on the intro package, and with that, TEFs partnered with me and gave me 14,000 in buying power with a $700 max loss. And so if it goes under 13,300, they close my account down, and any profit over the 14K they give me, there's a 70-30 profit split. And commissions are cheap. It's like 0.006 cents per share, but there's a 150 per trade minimum. WL Valores, I know you can sign up to the intro package at least twice on TradeNet. And so I know you can sign up at least twice on TradeNet. I think they cut you off after 2 times of signing up on TradeNet. I think anything over the intro package, and this is just, I'm not 100% sure, so you always want to ask them. But I think with anything over the intro package, like the student package, the expert package, I think you can sign up as much as you want. And so, I think the intro you can sign up twice. The other ones you can sign up as much as you want, but it's best to ask them. It's absolutely best to ask them, just because I'm not 100% sure. I think I'm just going by what other people told me, so it's best to reach out and ask them. Isn't it better to trade larger caps? I mean, I don't know. It's all it's all subjective, man. You can see I got my Robinhood account open here. I'm only down $5 on my put options. I still got a little bit of time. I still got a little bit of time here to I got a month, and so Trivago would need to drop down to. I'm sure I could start actually selling this put option if it gets down to like 520, 530. I could probably still sell it. Sorry, let me pull this back up. I don't know why that minimized. So yeah, I still have time, and that's why I'm not gonna day trade options. I'm just gonna use it for like a swing trading style. I also may start to play around with the crypto world a little bit. What's up, Marcus? Yeah, I feel you, man. I can't afford the expert either. Yeah, for sure. I get it, WL. That's kind of exactly what I'm doing, man. Yeah, I know. I noticed that too, live gains. I'm frustrated with that too, man. A lot of today's watch list isn't tradable. NBEV isn't. GALT. I can't trade it, but you guys might be able to. Look at GALT. It looks good here as well, but it's not tradable either. Um, and so, yeah, I mean, this is kind of, like I always say, the biggest flaw of TradeNet and TEFs is that some stocks are not tradable. Usually it's a little bit better than this, though. Usually, like, I think the average is like 7 out of 10 of my watch list is tradable. About 3 out of the 10 stocks on my list are not. Today's a little bit worse. Today, NBEV, like the big ones that I really like, aren't tradable. I mean, there's still some, like NEPT looked okay. It just started gapping down though, but I think this one's a little extended on the daily as well. So I'm watching NEPT for a fade. I'm going to watch some other stocks. I might take a long position. Yeah, NBEV isn't tradable at all, I think, on TEFs. Let me see. Yeah, it's not tradable at all for me. What's up, Tiny? Good morning. Yeah. NIHD. Nope, not tradable either. Yeah, today's a tough day. Not a lot tradable here. Wow, look at NEPT drop. It's starting to wash. And so really, I'm watching like Trivago. Like even though I'm holding an option, I don't, it moved a lot yesterday. I might look to short it if it looks weak under the VWAP today on Trivago. MLHR looks okay. Got to figure out a proper share size to take with that one though. But yeah, a lot of stuff isn't tradable. Really, WL? You traded it on the long side yesterday? Really? I mean, it's not saying it's tradable at all for me. I don't know. I have Robinhood. I can always look to jump in on Robinhood, but man. Look at the cannabis stocks. TLOI, look at this washout. Dropping some. So yeah, we'll see what some of these do. I mean, there's still a few options to trade. I think they come out at the end of the trading day, Corey. JNUG. Oh yeah, JNUG. I'm pretty sure this is an ETF though. I don't really like trading ETFs. I had a really nice VWAP bounce here yesterday. It's kind of the thing I talked about. Opened up underneath the VWAP, pulled back down, bounced right here. I'm pretty sure this is an ETF though, if I remember correctly. And so we'll see what this one does. Let's see. Yeah, it's an ETF. It's a gold miners ETF. 3 times ETF. So yeah, I mean, I'll watch it, and I mean, maybe if it fades, we'll see. I mean, ETFs essentially based off of they're based on other stocks, and so I still watch it, but it is an ETF, which makes me like it a little bit less. Just checking to see if I could find anything else that looks good. I'm not really seeing too much. Today's Thursday. I've had mixed results on Thursday. It's JDST's its inverse. What is JDST though? Alright, so let's look up the news. JDST is an ETF, yeah, so that one's the inverse. Okay. Alright, so let's look up the news on some of these. First one I'm looking up is NBEV. I mean, I think this one's probably the biggest mover this morning. Alright, so NBEV apparently they put out something that said they are set to debut their CBD product at the North American Conference Convenience Store on October 8th. Apparently this is a cannabis stock as well, NBEV. I didn't realize that. New Age Beverages is what NBEV is. Yeah, and they also had a press release that said Coca-Cola is actually possibly interested in a takeover of NBEV, and so New Age Beverages, and so I guess that is why it's moving like it is. Another one I'm looking at is the cannabis stocks. I think somebody said a lot of news came out with these, so I'm going to look up TLRY and the other ones, see why they're moving. So it looks like they had a supply agreement with Organigram. Oh, no, that's not TLRY. That is CGC. Yeah, I don't think there's really any news that was specifically today, except for them being on Mad Money yesterday or the day before, and so I guess that's making it rise. Looking at MLHR, if you know the news for TLRY, let me know. Looking at MLHR. So it sounds like it was good first quarter earnings for MLHR. They were better than the Wall Street expectations. And first quarter fiscal year of 2019, strong earnings of $35.8 million. That is equal to 60 cents per share, or 69 cents when adjusted for restructuring costs. They were better than the 57 cents per share from first quarter of this year. And so good earnings for MLHR. Going to keep an eye on that one. Trivago is up. I mean, this is one of the ones I bought a put on. It was just a $20 put. So, I mean, I'm not super upset. But going to look up the news, see if Trivago has anything new. I guess they're saying Trivago is a possible short squeeze, and that's possible. And so we'll see what happens with it. Gonna keep an eye on it as well. There's also ABIL gapping up some. I know this one's tradable. Yeah, this one's tradable. Let's see why ABIL's gapping up from 342 to 375 or 374. I don't really see any news out on ABIL. Nothing recent, at least. So, gonna look to short this one if it gets some good volume. GALT is another one. gapping up from 605 to 663. So they announced positive preliminary phase 1B results. Yeah, so that's pretty good news. They treat advanced melanoma and expansion of the trial. The combination was also very well tolerated, and the treatment is associated with less adverse events than which was expected, and so that's good news for GALT. We'll see where this one goes. It's not tradable. I feel like this one used to be tradable. I think they might have taken this one off. This one ran a lot earlier this year, a few months ago maybe. Let's look. Yeah, this one ran up to almost $10 back in July. And so I think it was tradable back then. They must have removed it. Trivago's still gapping up here. And so this is one I'm going to watch. I'm also keeping an eye on NEPT. NEPT, like I said, this one is up a lot from a week ago. It's up about 20-25%. And so looks like they had something that said they're set to present at the fall 2018 conference. They're also changing their name to Neptune Wellness Solutions, and so we'll see where this one goes as well. But yeah, that's basically it. We got some cannabis stocks running. NIHD is another one if you want to look at this one. NIHD, low volume, but it's gapping up from 424 to 481. I guess I can look up this one as well. I don't really see any news out on this one, so we'll have to watch it. Let me know if you know the news on NIHT. But yeah, that's about it right now. Got a few that I'm keeping an eye on. We got a few options. Like I said, I might jump in a long trade on Robinhood if I see something I like for a VWAP bounce. Maybe I haven't really traded the VWAP bounce, and I've been back testing it, and so I may jump into a few small positions there. Let me catch back up on the chat. Sorry about that, guys. Yeah, for sure, Star. I'm keeping an eye on it. I mean, like I said, it looks a little extended on the daily. I back down to the 520 level is what I'm looking for to possibly sell my put option. We'll see. I'm really not worried about it. We have some time here until the option expires. Yeah, WL Valores, TLRY CEO was on Mad Money with Kramer. It was either yesterday or the day before. BLDP. Yeah, BLDP looks good. I don't think this one's tradable, though. A large majority of stocks I like are not tradable in TEFs. Yeah, it's not tradable, unfortunately. IGXT. Yeah, IGXT doesn't look bad. I mean, it's gapping up from 85 cents to $1.31, so a pretty significant gap up. I seriously doubt it's tradable, though. Yeah, it's not. OSN. Wow, look at OSN. Yeah, I don't think this one's tradable either, but look at this move. OSN starting to run. I'm going to look at some of these on Robinhood. It's not tradable either, unfortunately. Yeah, so Neil, that's kind of what I've been back testing. Because, Thomas, the main reason is, like, I deposited $175 into Robinhood yesterday. The main reason I'm not using it for TradeNet and TEFs is because I haven't really back tested all the way in the past year. the long setups that I'm planning on using. And so I kind of just, I'm trying to really build this Tefs account up. And so I don't want, I'm only using back-tested setups on my Tefs account. And I got a few people asking about it. The broker I'm using is Tefs. It's basically, it's similar to a prop firm. So I think I said it before, but the way it works is I signed up. I paid for the intro package. It wasn't a deposit. I actually paid for the intro package, and with that, they gave me 14K in buying power, and I have a $700 max loss. And so if it goes under 13,300, they close my account down, and any profit over the original 14K they give me, there's a 70-30 profit split. And so, for instance, if I bring it up to 15,000, then I keep 700 and they keep 300. And commissions are really cheap. They're 0.006 cents per share, but there is a $1.50 per trade minimum. And so basically, if you're using less than 250 shares, commissions are $3 for a round trip. So all the way in and out, it's only $3 to get in and out of a stock. And so that's why I use them, really cheap commissions. I'll go ahead and post the link if anybody wants to sign up. I do make a small commission from it, but if you want to help support our channel, you can go through our link. I've always said, though, the biggest flaw with Tefs and TradeNet, and this is something that traders do want to understand, is that the biggest flaw is that a lot of stocks are not tradable. Like OSN isn't tradable, NBEV isn't tradable, LIQT, NIHD, GALT. So a lot of these stocks that I like today are not tradable. This is kind of an outlier day. Most of the time, more stocks are tradable, but today's just a bad day for it because a lot of stocks aren't tradable today. But like I said, most of the time, it's about 3 out of 10 stocks are not tradable. So about 70% of stocks on my list I can trade, and about 30% of stocks typically on my watch list are not tradable. The package I paid for was $500. But if you go through my link, I just posted the link there, it gets you 20% off for the rest of this month. And so instead of paying $500 for the intro package, it is $399. And if you buy one of the more expensive packages, I still think you get 10% off, but it's 20% off the intro package for the end of this month. And so, like I said, we do make a small commission from it, but I'm honest about it, and I'm honest about TradeNet in general. Biggest flaw is a lot of stocks aren't tradable, specifically cheaper penny stocks. The way it works is like stocks that have less than 500,000 shares traded in the last 3 months, those usually are not added to TradeNet, so I can't trade those. They typically do an okay job of adding them, but some stocks haven't been tradable lately. But is it worth it after you pay taxes on your gains? I mean, Chew, I haven't made any gains to be honest yet. I've only really been profitable as a trader in the last 2 months, really. Realistically, about 2 months since I really started to be profitable. And I can show you guys my graph here. Let me pull up my graph just so you guys can see it. This is my graph in the last 3 months. This is my profit and loss graph in the last 3 months. And so like you could see, starting around the beginning of August is really when I started to be a profitable trader. And I've been doing pretty well since then. I'm averaging about 1 losing day a week. About 70% accuracy is probably my average. And so I've been doing really well. I started to focus more on the VWAP fade with good risk to reward. And that's what ultimately helped me kind of transition to being profitable. But I haven't been profitable long, and so I haven't actually had to pay taxes on my profits yet, you know. What's up, the best? Good morning, brother. Right, exactly, cool. Any gains is worth it after paying taxes because, well, it's gains. But yeah, I'll be right back, guys. I'm going to go run to the restroom and get ready for the open, which is in 4 minutes. So just give me a second, guys. I'll be right back. Good morning. Up there's Mitch. Hold on. Yo, what's up, Mitch? Good morning, man. All right, we got Mitch here, guys.
Hey, how you guys doing, man? Snuck off a little bit. Gonna have at least like 30 minutes to trade. It's gonna be a quick day for me. Probably one in, one out. You know, quickly look for a nice trade. See if I find anything nice. If I don't, I'll just take off. And if I do see something with great potential, I'll go ahead and I'll take a chance.
All right, for sure, man. Good luck, brother.
Yeah, without a doubt.
All right, guys. So we got about a minute left until the open. Let's see how today goes. Let me know how the stream's running as well, guys. I forgot to mention that. I did tweak the settings on the stream, and so it should be working well. Somebody asked me how I find the news on stocks. What am I looking to use for the news? I'm using Snaptrade. It's Snaptrade, SNAPTRADE.US, and Thinkorswim sometimes. Mitch is loud. All right, hold on.
I'm always loud.
Let me turn Mitch down a little bit. There you
Let me
go.
turn myself up.
There we go. All right, so Mitch should be a little bit lower now. Sorry if it's loud. All right, guys, we
I
got.
was just loud when I come in here. I was probably just being obnoxious. All right, let's do this.
All right, so we got 30 seconds, guys. 30 seconds. Good luck.
What's your top watch?
Probably NEPT. It's overextended from the last few days, and really, it's one of the only ones that are tradable that looks decent. MLHR is not far behind that one, and so. All right, guys, we got 2 minutes, or we got 10 seconds. Good luck, guys. Good luck. There's the bell. All right. Here we go. Like I said, I'm also going to be kind of playing around on Robinhood today. Maybe looking to get in a VWAP bounce setup here. Trivago dropping some here. Need some more volume. NBEV. Opened up underneath the VWAP. We'll see if it pushes over to that. Keep an eye on SPWR as well.
Wheat stock's doing a little green move today instead of a red to green move. Let's see what happens.
For sure. Looking at LCI as well. It's a little bit higher float stock, it looks like. But I'm keeping an eye on it too. Gapping up from 520. Well, break even, gap up. There goes Trivago washing out some. That's kind of what I wanted to see with my option trade. NBEV running up here. Gonna look for a bounce off the VWAP on NBEV. MLHR maybe kind of pulling back to the VWAP here, but it's not a big enough bearish trend. D-Tree. All right, I got you, Daniel. I'll add you, man.
All right, looking at GERN.
Yeah, Robert, we're 30 seconds, but, we've mentioned it before. The lag should actually be a little bit better now, though. You said GERN is what you're looking at?
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, no, the reason it's behind, I actually mentioned this yesterday, is because of the latency settings on YouTube. In order for it to run a clean, smooth stream, there has to be a delay. Because if not, it would be really buffery and laggy. And so for that reason, there's like a 30-second delay. But with my new computer, it actually should be a little bit better than it was before. I know before it was like a minute, so it's looking better. Looking at NEPT here, going to see if it pulls back. Man, look at Trivago tank, though. Alright, so NBEV kind of pulling back to the VWAP here. There's also MLHR pulling back here. The spread's too gnarly on that one, though. I'm not going to mess with that. GERN doesn't look too bad. But what's the extension like on GERN? That's the biggest thing. It's pulling back to the VWAP beautifully here, but
yeah, it's like a B.
Yeah.
B setup. 5-cent risk, 10-cent reward. Not the biggest move, but could break down on the daily.
Yeah, I mean, I don't mind taking GERN here with 200 shares.
I'm looking for it to like kind of turn around on me. So wick up, and then when it turns around, that's when I'd short it.
Kind of a little VWAP bounce here on NBEV. Didn't end up taking it.
All right, short GERN there. Short there at 549.
You gotta be taking some
off of 55 or 54.
What's your sizing?
It's 500 shares.
Okay, yeah, it's a small range, so you gotta take something somewhat big. NBEV here, I might toy around and jump in a little VWAP bounce setup here. What can I don't even know how many shares I can buy right now on NBEV. I could probably buy 25. Ooh, I did not want to buy it there. See, that's the problem with Robinhood, man. Look at this buy. Ugh. It is not looking great. Luckily, it's 25 shares, but man. I'll hold it, but if it cracks 250, I'm out because I think this thing could really tank fast. At this point, I'm looking for any PT on TEFs to reverse back up there to that 470 level. I'll consider it there. Luckily, though, I mean, I got a 560 entrance on NBEV. We'll see if it holds. It's back up to 570s. Not looking bad.
All right, guys. Since that last candle closed, I do not want to see GRN over 553. I'm risking a total of 4 cents on this trade. Looking for a profit at 10 cents or more.
Holding NBEV, I'm up about $5 with my little 25 shares.
A stock that's running nice is Tiva. Running nice.
SPWR as well. SPWR doesn't look too bad. For a VWAP bounce, maybe.
MPT probably gonna go back to the VWAP.
NEPT.
I just don't know if you like it too much there or not.
Yeah, no, I like an NEPT. I want to wait until it gets at least up to 470.
Agree.
That's kind of what I'm looking for.
All right, here's my down 2 for the GERN. I actually like that. Some sizing jumped in there. 14,000 shares. I could take profit at 45, but it's only a 4-cent profit. So I'm looking for it to break that.
want to see any PT get up to about that 470 level, 468. I wouldn't mind entering there. There we go. There's NBEV running up for me. Looking good. I got in at 560. It's at $6 now. Gonna give myself a break-even stop for this one. All right, I don't mind any PT here. I'm gonna get in with 100 shares at this point. Giving
All right,
myself
this is
a risk
looking good.
of
Getting to
73.
the first support. First support for me. Touching first support. Getting heavy there. Let's see if it breaks it here.
All right, I'm in with 100 shares on any PT. GER in looks good for you, man.
Yeah. The reason I'm not taking profit here, guys, is just that if I took profit here, I would have to, no matter what, add if it came back. And the profit would only be probably about $8. It doesn't cover the commissions for this trade. So that's why I'm waiting for the second breakdown. I just wanted to call the first support so you guys understand how we look at it.
NBEV pulling all the way back. I'm just going to give myself a break even at 560 for this one. All right, I'm out of NBEV. I don't really want to get caught in this. I'm not out yet, but I'm about to get out.
Oh.
Gonna let it bounce one more time. Quick spike up to 65 on NEPT. 66. Risk is 73 or so on this one. And if it gets up to the VWAP, I don't mind adding another 100 shares or so here. It's got to get up there though. Man, NBEV is acting crazy. This thing is up to 585, back down, back up. Alright, so there's almost 70. Gonna look to add right around here with a risk of 73.
Got Tiva looking like a VWAP bounce. I would think about it. If I wasn't in this trade, I'd probably take that one. Like the idea off of 66, looking for that 80.
I like that bounce too.
Yeah, I would have bought it at 66. I literally even had the order like filled in. I was about to just take it, but I wanted to respect my discipline and always staying to the not trading two trades at the same time.
Yeah, I feel you.
Yeah, don't like to break that rule. Because then when you lose big and you were trading two stocks, you really get upset with yourself.
Yep.
Alright, I'm liking GERN, guys. I'm liking GERN. I like that little turn that it did. Now I just need to see it get down and see if it can get down to 45s. Maybe bounce a little bit, but I don't really want it past that last little high there, 49s, 50s. Would like it to really just break down here,
Look at
come down to
Trivago.
the 40s.
Yeah, it
All
looks
right,
good.
there's the 45s.
I told myself I was gonna add on NEPT here, but I don't want it to bull flag up here, and so I got to be careful with it.
Got to be careful with this. Doing a little move up here.
NBEV back up to the 80s. This thing's kind of crazy. All right, here's 70s on NEPT here. Got to give myself a tight leash.
'53 is my out, guys. I want to see a rejection of 50 there, and it looks like it's giving it to me right now. Let's see if it finishes the 1 minute candle and doesn't get above that 50 or rejects it on the level 2. That's what I'll be looking for.
NBEV, I mean, I want to see it break 6. It doesn't look bad. I'm up about $8 with my little 25 shares on Robinhood on NBEV. With 25 shares, though, I got to give myself a little bit more room. So we'll see. Kind of a choppy day for it, though.
Yeah, it looks like the TiVo would have been nice. Would be looking to put out an order right now for a 24.75 close or a 24.78. You can take first profits there. Look for a breakout.
ALT is halted. A few people talking about ALT here. Yeah, I'm not trading ALT. It's just a little crazy for me. There's 6 on NBEV. Gonna let it try to test this area. Just so you guys can see what I'm looking at with NEPT. I'm up about $10, or I was up $10 a second ago. Just trying to let this work.
All right, I like that rejection on GERN. Now I'm really watching and seeing if we can get some weight to really push through those 45s and some big sizing coming in there and hammering this down.
Yeah, that was a nice bounce on TEVA. I'm just now noticing it.
Yeah, man, it was nice. I honestly would have taken it if I wasn't in GERN. I would
Yeah.
have took it at 66 too. It was just literally hanging there, 65, 66 on the ass. It's beautiful.
Yeah. Nice little VWAP bounce there. And like I said, it crossed over the VWAP and then bounced. And that's,
It's what we want to see.
But man, look at NBEV, man. This thing's just sketchy. Super sketchy. I'll probably get out here for like a $5 gain. I don't want to get caught in a big drop. Yeah, there it goes. I'm out for break even.
Right, gonna watch this, guys. Got to be careful here.
I'm out.
Just wanted to reject up there and then just come sliding back down to the 45s here.
Yeah, NEPT, I'm not. It's lingering around this area for a little bit too long for me to really feel comfortable in this trade. You can see it's kind of lingering around the 70s. If it gets rejected here, I really like it, but it's been lingering around here. I feel like it's going to crack up here. There's 71. 73 is my out for a 10-cent loss. Right here is my exit. Alright, there's 73. If it cracks over this, I'm out. I'm out. $12 loss, tiny loss. I didn't want to let it go anymore. It's going to get too close to the high of the day. And so small loss, that's fine. But man, look at Trivago. Man, Trivago just turned around all the way back up. But yeah, the last 2 days have been tough. I think if today turns into a losing day, this will be the first day where I've had 2 losing days in a row in like a month.
And it happens, brother. It's just the changing of the market also. We're starting to get a little bit more long in the market, and we're just going to have to learn to adjust. That's it.
Yep, for sure, man.
I'm not liking this turnaround. Going to hold off of 52, guys. If I see 52 pops up, I'll get it on out. I'm willing to see this rejection. If it rejects 50 here, it'll look nice. But let's see what happens here at 50.
It's also a lot of stocks haven't been tradable on TradeNet lately. Like if you look at some of these stocks did really nice fades, like GALT. GALT was a nice fade off the VWAP. And, you know, that would have been preferable to get in that one. But a lot of these stocks just haven't been tradable today. Yeah, it's not tradable, Corey. Which is one of the biggest problems with today's market is that some of these aren't tradable.
All right, there's 52 is probably going to get out here, guys. Just need to see if the levels are going through there. Original plan was off 53s.
And yeah, I mean, any PT, I would, like I said, I consider this a B setup. Just because it's not as overextended as I'd prefer it to be. It's overextended on the daily, but I want to see it overextended on the intraday chart, and I just don't think it was. But $12 loss, it's almost break even, and so I just got to stay patient and not force anything. I got one more trade I can take today. If I follow my rules, I can only trade one more time, but don't know if I'm going to. We'll see. I got to see something I really like.
I'm out.
No
Small
stress,
loss
brother.
there, guys. $25.
Volume's a
Not
little
bad.
low. Volume's a little
Not
low.
bad with 500 shares. Not bad.
Yeah, you're fine, man. But yeah, volume's a little low today. But yeah, this is the first day. If today does in fact turn into a losing day, this is the first day in months, in like at least a month, where I've had 2
That
losing
Chiba
days.
trade was beautiful, though.
It was.
That's probably the trade of the day right there. That was right there. Take some at 80. Hold some for this little move here. And you could continue on up. It's not a bad trade either. I'm starting to like these more, especially when they do the red to green. Red to green, VWAP bounce. Starting to look really nice in this market.
I wonder if Robinhood will let me trade again. Let's see. I wonder if it will. Yeah, I can. So Robinhood, that's what I do like that about Robinhood is that they do let you trade. You don't have to wait for the T2 rule on Robinhood. But look at NBEV, man. Look how choppy. This is how you know the market's a little sketchy today. Is that when you look at stocks like NBEV, it's just sideways action. Even the cannabis stocks are going sideways today. The best option I wish I could have traded today, the best stock I wish I could have traded was GALT. Really beautiful fade here. Off the VWAP right there would have been a really nice entry. Set the risk for a high of the day at 64. Reward at the low at 634. So it would have been a nice trade, but not tradable. TLRY. TLRY sideways. I don't want to mess with the sideways stock.
I'm watching NBEV.
I know that's super sideways, man. TRVG bouncing off the VWAP. Look at this bounce off of TRVG here. Nice little bounce here. Broke underneath the VWAP, broke over it, and then bounced. And that's a pattern I'm seeing more and more and more. Another example of it is TEVA. Underneath the VWAP, pull up, bounce. And so I think I'm going to look for that today. But, yeah, tough day. A little choppy, a little sideways. Hey, nice job, Victoria. Good work, good work. So GERN actually kind of looks like a long at this point. I might take it on Robinhood just to, like I said, I'm on Robinhood. I'm kind of testing out this VWAP bounce setup, and I kind of see it with GERN. Tight risk. What can I get in with this one even? It's just such a tight range on it. I can't, the range is like 10 cents today. Less than that even. The range is like 8 cents today. And so I'm not going to take it just because the range is too small. The potential profit's just not there. Trigvago would have been nice. NIO. NIO's faked me out the last few times I've tried it. Yeah, it doesn't look like a bad bounce though for NIO. But how many shares could I buy? I can buy like 10 shares of NIO, but that's not reasonable. I can buy 15 shares. Yeah, I'll go ahead and take it.
One can't trade it.
What?
MBEV.
Yeah.
I would have shorted there 580s off of 590s. Looking for this breakdown through 570s.
I'd be careful, man.
I hit it twice.
This thing is super sideways, man. This thing is just sideways over
watch
and over
this. This is level 2 reading. I saw it. I saw them slam 70s already. I would already been able to take some profit right there. I hit 500 shares, and now look for the breakdown.
Yeah. Hey, maybe you're right, man.
No, not even maybe, bro. Look at my screen, bro. I'm going to show you guys right now why it's not a maybe. I'm going to share this so you guys can learn at least. We can learn something today. This is not a maybe, guys. Do you see my screen? Wait till it gets nice. Let me know.
Yeah. There we go.
All right, guys. So right before it did this bounce to 580s, it ran to 570s, and this shorter got in there. 16,000 shares, 2,000, 3,000, 2,000 at 570, right? So right there, I'm thinking, all right, if it bounces to 580, I can risk off of this 590 here, this last high, and it already made a move to the VWAP. So let it bounce to 570s, 580s, and I'll short it there. Boom, looking for this move right back to that 570. And what you need to do is you need to see confirmation come into it. What did you see? You saw a bounce here to 580s. Then as soon as they went to 573, 10,000 shares went through there. 571's 2,000 shares. Then when it finally broke here, the low, 565, look at the shorter adding. 27,000 shares, 13,000 shares going through there. That's how you trade, guys. That's how you use level twos and time and sales to understand that there's a change right here, that this should break out here, guys. This should break out here. This rejection right here, boom, hammer it, use the last high, go down to the low, take your first profit, look for that second support touch, 550 right here. Could have took your second profit. Looking to add anywhere up in this range, or you can just hold on to break even and let this keep falling down, guys. It was a great trade. Just wasn't able to take the trade. You guys will see right here. I tried to hit it at 578s, 580s. Just couldn't get in there. Would have made some good money. That's how it goes, guys.
No stress, brother. No stress, man.
Oh, it's a beautiful trade there. And one of the things I noticed also, guys, is that this stock put out some really, really bad news, guys. And what it's trying to do is it's trying to play with investors also, guys. If you watch what it did, it started bringing out news on a weed kind of drink that they're going to introduce with CBD in there. And they also got rumors of a Coke buyout. You know, all those things are playing into this. So they threw that news fluff story that they're going to bring out a cannabis drink. And of course, with the weed industry going crazy, people are like, oh, no, yeah, now this is going to be a beautiful drink. Going to make lots of money for this company. And as you see, it's what you can use also is that now it shouldn't really get past those 570s, guys. You don't even want to see it up at VWAP. You want to see it reject 570s, come right back down to those 550s, break through. And that'll really show you this stock is done, guys.
Yeah.
All right, guys, I'm going to get out of here, guys. I wasn't able to take that one. That definitely would have been a nice winner. But, hey, that's how it goes, guys. I'm going to go and head for the door and get back to work. I'll be with you guys tomorrow and have a lot more time to trade. But as you guys can tell, that's how you use time and sales. That's how you use level twos. And
right,
like always, guys, I'll come in, I'll come out, guys.
Later, brother.
Got you guys. Later.
All right, so that's Mitch. He just left. Andre, listen, I don't want to trigger anyone, but I just got to say that it's important to have a trade strategy where you don't lose unrealized gains on the regular. What do you mean by that, Andre? I appreciate the sub. Brian, Jeremy, Joe, B-Pass. Welcome, guys. Yeah, I mean, with my strategy, I mean, here's the thing. With my strategy, I mean, I think I've kind of proven in the last few months that my strategy has a legit edge. Yeah, and look at NBAV tank. Mitch was right. What's up, Jesse? But no, I mean, my strategy, it typically has good risk to reward. Like, even if you look at GALT here, for instance, like, just to show you guys what I look for. On GALT, I get in around here at these highs at 58, and I can set my risk at 64, right? So that's a 6-cent risk. Potential rewards down here at least to 42. And so 6-cent risk with a almost 15-cent reward. And so better than 2 to 1 risk to reward if you set your risk at the high of the day and your reward at this previous low down here. And this would have been a beautiful short. I just couldn't trade GALT. I think the problem in the last few days is that a lot of stocks haven't been tradable on TEFs. Like a lot of these good stocks that look good for the fades, they just haven't been tradable, you know. And that's tough to, it's tough to get around, you know. And it's something I have to have patience with. What's up, Jesse? Welcome, brother. Welcome, man. Yeah, Jesse. I day trade live on stream every weekday morning, man. So we hope you'll come back, brother. But yeah, guys, I'm probably done for the day. I'm probably not going to mess with anything else just because the volume's slow. I can't trade much on TEFs today. And so I doubt I'll probably get in anything else, but I'll watch, you know. I don't really see anything I really like live gains. I'm just not seeing too much I really like. Just a little slow right now. Mostly low volume, choppiness, a lot of sideways stocks right now. And so TRVG looks good for a long, but, you know, a lot of sideways action. But yeah, look at NBEV Tank. Mitch was right. But yeah, appreciate all the subs. I don't know why it's not registering. Like, I can't hear. Um, it might be desktop audio. It's probably desktop audio is the reason I can't hear the new subs. Welcome, Dylan. Welcome in. Maybe my volume's just too low. I don't know. Later, WL. Have a good one, brother. Nice, Dylan. Good work, brother. Oh, man. But yeah, let's take a look at my graph. I could do that today. I'm going to try to import the last few days' historical data from TEFs. Today's the 20th. All right, so let's import it to. Wait, let me export this again. I always forget TEFs Trader. Here it is. Yeah, so here's my graph. Let me snip it here. Here's my graph from TraderView from the last 90 days or so. Yeah, this is my graph from the last 90 days or so, guys. And so it's not a bad graph. Running into a little resistance here. If you're a trader, a little bit of resistance here, but really nice graph, really pretty graph here for the last 30 days. Just got to focus on, waiting, being a little bit more selective. And one thing I did do well today is that I took small sizing, just because I know today's a low volume day. It's just a tough day, but not a bad graph here, you know. Definitely some improvement here. And, like I said, I just have to focus on being selective and just waiting, trying to let the trade work for me. Just because on days like today where there's not really much volume and a lot of stocks are not tradable on TEFs, you know, it's really hard to just kind of sit on your hands and not jump in anything. And so I think that's what kind of the last 2 days have been. It's just kind of slow volume days where I didn't really see any good setups. I'm streaming, and so, you know, I want my viewers to see me trade, and I think that kind of has to do with it. But I still like my graph. I still think it's a really pretty graph, and just looking to keep that up, keep that going, and working on, you know, breaking through this little hurdle. Like I said, this was the first time in a month where I've had 2 losing days in a row. I haven't had 2 losing days in a row before that. So first day in a month where that's happened. And so, yeah, got to focus on it a little bit more. I don't know why it does this every time. Let me exit out, come back in. There we go. Also, my trade on NIO is not doing too bad here. I got in on the VWAP bounce, but I'm only holding 15 shares. I guess I'll let this one run a little bit longer term. But here's the VWAP bounce on NIO. Really nice bounce right here. pull over the VWAP, bounce back down. So that's the trade I took on that one. But probably just going to hold that one, let it work. Yeah, triple top. Yeah, me too, man. I hate being down, man. I hate it. I hate losing. Hey, right, Andre. I think that's a good. I think that's a good way to trade, man. All right, Tiny. Have a good day. Nice work, Rel. Hey, man. Hey, what was that? A 17-cent gain isn't anything to scoff at, man. Good job, brother. Yeah, I'm using TraderView. INSG. And I mean, I'm holding a few shares on Robinhood. Like I said, I bought in on this VWAP bounce setup right here. And, the good thing about this VWAP bounce setup is that it's good risk to reward, right? So if you get in right around this 915 level, your risk is essentially at 908, right? So that's what, 7-cent risk. Your potential reward could at least be up here to the 930s. And so 2-to-1 risk to reward. A little bit better than 2-to-1 risk to reward. And so this is kind of the long setup I've been talking about that I probably should start trading a little bit more. I've seen a lot of good long setups in the market lately. And so that's something I need to work on. But hey, appreciate it, Joshua. Yeah, man, I'm happy with my little graph, man. I'm happy with it. It's not bad, man. I'm happy with my graph. I'm happy with how I've been doing. So, it's just about, at this point, it's just about focusing and, trying to get through this little hurdle, this little triple top I've had here. But it's good percentage gain. I'm using like 100, 200 shares maybe. And so a really nice gain within the last few months of me just trading small sizing. And so really happy with how I've traded. But like I said, at this point, I just need to work on being a little bit more selective. It does kind of hurt a little bit to have 2 losing days in a row. Like I said, I haven't really had that happen in months. And so just focusing on, trying to stay a little bit more patient. Where is our data 2 feed? Level 2 is right here. I mean, on the left side. If that's what you're talking about, I'm not sure. But yeah, the problem with today is that, when you don't have good stocks to trade, like when a lot of stocks aren't tradable on TEFs, you kind of look for B- setups. And that's what I consider NEPT was kind of a B- setup. Not because it looked bad at the open, but because it wasn't overextended enough on the intraday chart. Like I'd like to see it preferably gap up way up here. But I held it to my levels. I followed my plan. GALT was probably the picture perfect fade for today. Really nice fade up here. You can set your risk at the high of the day. Reward down here. So really good risk to reward on that one too. My level 2 on Thinkorswim's down here. Yeah, it's free, man. Every day I stream for free right here on YouTube. So yeah, man. My mentality, Mitch and I's mentality with this is like we just try to offer everybody. We try to offer everybody stuff for free, because trading's expensive. We just try to give everybody stuff for free. We make a little bit of money from referrals and stuff like that, but we try to offer stuff for free. Just because I know a lot of other people charge, a few $100s a month for chat rooms. We just try to give it to people for free. Really, like, we're still relatively new traders. We're not trying to act like experts or anything like that. I'm just trying to focus on, keeping this profit streak I've had in the last few months going. And I'm just focusing on good risk to reward trades. Got to take it slow, though. Like I said, I've been averaging 1 losing day a week for the last month and a half. And so if today is a losing day, it's the first time in a month and a half where I've had 2 losing days in a week. And so, I mean, I'm happy just that I could actually do that in the first place, that I'm averaging 1 losing day a week in the last few months. But, it's all about how I react to this. If, like I said, today I'll probably end down. and that's the first time in a month and a half where I've had 2 losing days. And so I just got to focus on staying disciplined, looking for good setups. If I could trade GALT, it kind of looks like a VWAP fade here. I don't trust it quite as much. I do like the risk area of 650, so a tight risk. It's kind of fading off the VWAP, but I don't think it's tradable. At least it wasn't. No. And so a lot of stuff hasn't been tradable in the last few days. Kind of tough. Yeah, exactly. I mean, I'm just happy, like, whenever you live stream anything and whenever you let people watch me, like, typically we have a few hundred people here every morning watching me, you always have your certain group of people that are just waiting for you to lose. And so I think streaming kind of adds some extra pressure, which I actually like. I like the added pressure. It helps me to learn to deal with pressure in my trades. But you do always have that group of people that they never say anything. Like whenever you're going on a green streak, like I went on an 8-day green streak lately. I had 8 profitable days in a row. And I was really excited about it. But you got a certain group of people that they don't say anything when you have that 8-day green streak. But as soon as you have 1 or 2 losing days, they start trying to criticize and tell you everything you're doing wrong. And it's like, if I was doing something wrong, I wouldn't have an 8-day winning streak in the first place. And so, I think there's some people are just toxic, and insecure. And I just got to learn to deal with those a little bit more. Right, for sure, DSP, 100%, man. Every trader's different, and so I mean, some people are inherently long bias. Some people are inherently short bias. Some people like to set loose stops. Some people like to set tight stops. The way you can really tell the maturity of a trader is when they understand that even though they may not agree with you, it doesn't mean that person's wrong. You know what I mean? It doesn't mean that person's right. It doesn't mean that person's wrong. It just means y'all have different thesis on stocks, and that's fine. Whenever you get somebody that only thinks their way is right, that their way is the only way, that their way is the only way to do it, and they try to get onto you if you don't follow their trading style, that's when you can really tell the immaturity of a trader. I'm more upset you use the word toxic than red or green days. What do you mean by that, JB? I don't understand what you mean by that. You don't like the word toxic? I mean, I'm just saying there's some people that it's just not a good environment for traders. Like if you're a trader, you understand that, like, whenever somebody has a red day, the worst thing you can do is criticize them. You know what I mean? You gotta be supportive. Let them know. Like when Mitch has a red day, I try to support him and just tell him, look, it's all right, brother. You'll bounce back. Because when you get it in your head and people start criticizing you, it makes you have that much more pressure, and that's just hard to deal with. You know what I mean? If you think about it, I do pretty well with it. Honestly, I've kind of learned to tune out the strategy advice people give me in the comment section, and it's nothing against you guys, but it's kind of like I saw Clay Trader make a video the other day. And it's kind of like, and the basic premise of the video is that if you know your strategy has an edge, you're going to have people that are telling you it's a bad style. You're going to have people telling you it's a bad strategy, and you have to learn to tune them out. You know what I mean? You have to say, you know what? I know this has an edge. I got to just ignore everybody else, Danny? No. So the biggest flaw with TEFs and TradeNet is that some stocks are not tradable. Like for instance, today, NBEV wasn't tradable. GALT wasn't tradable. LIQT wasn't tradable. NIHD wasn't tradable. And so a lot of these stocks were not tradable today. And that's the biggest problem with TEFs, is that some stocks are not tradable. Typically, it's usually a lot better than this. It's usually not nearly this bad. But the last 2 days, it's been kind of tough to find stocks to trade that match my, kind of what I look for. And so that's been the troubling thing the last few days. Like I said, usually it's not nearly this bad. Usually I can trade 70% of my watch list, but lately it's been much lower than that. And so, exactly, JV, is what they say about coaching. If you start listening to the fans, you'll find yourself sitting with them. 100%, man. And that's why I said I know the VWAP fade has an edge. I mean, honestly, if you like I said, if you look at my graph here, you know you can tell the strategy I'm using has an edge. Like if you look at this graph, you know it has an edge. You know what I mean? Like there's no way I could make these consistent gains in the last 2 months. Like I said, I'm averaging one losing day a week in the last 2 months. After this week, it's probably like 1.2 losing days a week or something weird like that. But you could look at this graph and just tell that the strategy I'm using has an edge. And the way I'm trading has an edge. You know what I mean? And so that's why it's like you still get people, even though they can see your graph, even though they can see you having a large majority of profitable days, you still get people that are going to try to tell you it's wrong just because it doesn't fit with their specific strategy. Yeah, I mean, Danny, you do want to check to see uh, Etsy AMD. Yeah, you do want to check to see if the stocks are tradable. A large majority of the time, I can trade most stocks on my list. You know what I mean? And somebody's saying switch brokers. I mean, no, not necessarily. I like TradeNet. I think TradeNet is kind of the perfect broker for me. There's lots of shorts. Commissions are cheap, $3 for a round trip with the share sizing I'm using. Cheap commissions. I can short anything that's tradable. And a majority of the time, most of the stocks on my watch list are in fact tradable. And so the last 2 days have kind of been an outlier. It's not typically how it is. Usually there's much more tradable stocks. And so I think the last 2 days, the volume's just been low. And so when a stock starts to run, it's usually running after having low volume in the previous few months. And so whenever a stock has less than 500,000 shares tradable, or 500,000 shares in volume in the last 3 months, it's not tradable on TEFs. And so I think with the low volume market we've kind of been having, I think that's the main reason. When the volume starts to heat up a little bit more, I'm sure I'm going to have a lot more options. And winter time's coming. Winter is coming, to reference Game of Thrones. And so with that being said, the volume and the momentum is going to start pushing up a little bit in the market. AMD. Let's look at AMD. Yeah, AMD faded off the VWAP really nicely here. This is basically the strategy I trade if anybody wants to see it. If you look at AMD here, I look for a bearish trend, a pullback to the VWAP, which you can see right here. This is where I like to enter the trade, set the next resistance level as my risk. And so, for instance, if I got in here, I could effectively set this 3190 level as my risk, set my reward at least at 3150. And so really good risk to reward from about 3180 to 3190, 10-cent risk, 3180 to 3150, 30-cent reward, so 3-to-1. 3-to-1 reward to risk ratio. And so that's kind of what I look for. Even this one, same thing as well. And a lot of times the VWAP fade will happen more often, more than once. Here's another one here. Risk of 3175, reward of 3130. So typically it's good risk to reward. This is the strategy I use. AMD, I mean, maybe I should have been watching this one. It's just a little bit higher float, a little bit more blue chip than I like to trade. Yeah, I mean it's good. It's a good strategy, Joshua. Like I said, this strategy is what caused this graph. You know what I mean? Like this is the graph I've been using, and if you look at before I started using this strategy, yeah, let me pull that up so you can see how much my trading has improved since I started using this strategy, right? And so if you look at this, this is before I started using the VWAP fade, and this is after. And so you can see what a massive difference. You can obviously see that the setup has an edge before the VWAP fade setup, after the VWAP fade setup. But it's not just the setup. It's also that I started calculating risk to reward on every trade I got into. and it's also looking for overextension with the VWAP fade. So there's a few different conditions that have to be there in order for me to really want to trade it to make it an A+ setup. I made a video about it last weekend. And the conditions are, the first one is it needs to be overextended. It has to be overextended on the upside, preferably gapping up over 10%. The second condition is it has to have good volume. If it doesn't have good volume, it's not going to fulfill a large majority of the time. And then the third condition is that it just has to be good risk to reward. And so if all of those three things come together, a trade has good risk to reward, good volume, and it's overextended, that's when the VWAP fade is an A+ setup, and in my mind it works a large majority of the time. I have one, Desert. I'll go ahead and post it. Let me find it. But yeah, I have one. I have a bunch of videos on it though. Yeah, so if anybody wants like a walkthrough of the setup that I use, this is it. So I'm gonna post that video to the chat. There's the VWAP fade walkthrough. It's just a very simple walkthrough video on the VWAP fade, what I look for when I like to get into the trade. Wait, I don't know why it's not letting me post it. There we go. Hey, appreciate it, Danny. Appreciate it, brother. Yeah, if you want to get a hold of me on Skype, just message me or leave your Skype handle. I'll contact you on there. I appreciate the sub, Danny. Appreciate the sub, Jazzy and Sam. Welcome, guys. But yeah, this is the first time in a month and a half where I've had 2 losing days in a week. I can kind of blame it on volume, but it's also I wasn't selective enough. It's also my discipline that kind of failed this week. But like I said, I'm still up a lot in the last month and a half. And so it's just about, this account was all the way down under 13,600. It was at like 13,500 and something. And so I brought it up from there. I made a few $100s using that strategy. And so at this point, it's just about being more selective and scaling up my sizing. Yeah, no worries, Bardis and Desert. No worries, guys. And Joshua, John. Do you use technical indicators like RSI? No. So I simply use the VWAP and I draw my own support and resistance. And so just the VWAP and support and resistance. Appreciate the sub, Lamb. Welcome. Appreciate it. But yeah, I just draw my own support and resistance lines. Can you teach about options? I mean, I don't know that much about options, to be honest. I mean, I know how to trade them, but it's, I'm not the best person to teach you about options, to be honest. I'm not that, I know how they work. Like, I'm holding an option of Trivago right now, but option, basically, you buy an option. You can buy a put or you can buy a call. If you're long and want to go long in a stock, you buy a call. And if you want to go short in a stock, basically you want the stock to go down, you buy a put. And there's different strike prices, which is where you have to hit to be profitable, is basically options. So you can buy a call or buy a put. Like if you go to Robinhood here. Hey, nice work, Andre. Good work. No, Desert. The account started out at 14K. I'm down $270 or something like that. When I say the stock's overextended, Bardis, preferably like the ideal setup for an overextended stock is when a stock gaps up over 10%. Like GALT is a good example here. It gapped up over 10%. And then what does it do at the open? It fades all the way back down to this 620 level, right around to this closing price. And that's what I want to look for. It's basically a gap fill strategy. Like I want to look for the stock to gap up and then fill that gap on the way down. But you can see it's gapping up over 10% and then it fades off the VWAP right here. So look for a bearish trend at the open, a pullback to the VWAP, and then a bigger reverse back down. I preferably like to take a partial at the low of the day, so it gives me good risk to reward, and then I let the rest work in case it does something like this one did. That's really what I look for. But yeah, I'm just looking for a stock that's overextended. I just look for a stock that's overextended, preferably, like I said, a gap up over 10% is what I really look for. If the stock can gap up over 10%, I'm looking for it to fill the gap on the way down. Hey, nice work, John. Good work, brother. Um, I mean, I don't know. I don't like set trailing. I don't like to set any stop. I don't really like to set stop losses just because I don't know. Stop losses, they just never worked out for me. Like a lot of times the stock will go right up to my stop loss and then tap it, stop me out, and then come all the way back down to where I wanted it to. And so for that reason, I just manually, I set a mental stop. And if it really breaks over that support or resistance level, I just get out the trade. For GALT, it just wasn't tradable today. Yeah, no worries. No worries, Bardis. Yeah, so for that reason, I set a mental stop just because I don't like, and it's really what it is. It's market makers, and so since I'm trading CFDs, they're not specifically trying to stop me out, but what they're trying to do is they're trying to go up to that area where most people are going to set their stop loss and just stop everybody out and then let the stock come back down. And so for that reason, like I said, I like to just set a mental stop. That way, if it does tap my stop loss, but it doesn't really break over it with serious momentum, I can stay in the trade. But this is just my style of trading. Everybody has their own style. Mine may be a little bit different. But I'm honestly, I'm really happy with my graph the last few months. Been doing really well. And you can see my improvement here. Was a losing trader up until that point, and then I just started to do really well with the VWAP fade setup. And so hopefully it continues, but we'll see. Yeah, I taught myself for the most part. I mean, I've watched other, I've watched videos with Tim Sykes, Warrior Trading. Anybody you could think of on YouTube, I've watched their videos. I've never paid for a course or anything like that, but I have watched a lot of videos. But aside from that, I'm self-taught for the most part. Yeah, TradeNet avoids the PDT. It's not actually TradeNet, it's Tefs. Tefs is the partnering broker with TradeNet. And so I'm not technically trading with TradeNet. I'm trading with Tefs. After paying for a package on TradeNet, Tefs partners with me. And so like I said, it's like a prop firm. They give you 14K with the intro package, and any profit over 14K, there's a 70-30 profit split. So if I bring it up to 15K, I get to keep 700, they keep 300. If there's a $700 max loss, and so if the account goes under 13,300, they close it down. Commissions are cheap. It's 0.006 cents per share, but there's a 150 per trade minimum. And so if you're using the sizing, I'm taking like 250 and under, 250 shares or less, then in and out, a complete round trip is $3, $3. Yeah, Kelly. That video on the VWAP fade walkthrough. Yeah, that's the strategy I use. That's the only strategy I try to use. I'm pretty disciplined in that regard. Like I only trade the VWAP fade. The reason I trade it, and I'll go ahead and post. Let me see. If anybody's interested in signing up through TradeNet, I'll post a link here. The intro package is usually $500, but if you go through my link, you can get it for 20% off for the rest of the month. I do make a small commission from it, but if you want to help support our channel, you can go through that link. And like I always say, I'm honest about Tefs and TradeNet. The biggest flaw with Tefs is that some stocks are not tradable, especially days like today where a lot of my watch list and a lot of these good stocks that I'm watching are not tradable. And so you do want to understand that before signing up. typically it's not generally this bad. Usually it's like 3 out of 10 stocks are not tradable and 7 out of 10 are, so 70% are usually tradable. But you do want to understand that before signing up. And a lot of times it's low volume stocks. Like if a stock starts to break out after having really low volume, let me find a good example of this. GALT. You can see how low volume was before it started to break out today. And really low volume. And so for that reason, it wasn't tradable. And so you do want to understand that. Yeah, Tefs is the partnering broker with TradeNet. Later, Bardis. Hey, appreciate you coming by, brother. But yeah, there's the link right there, Daniel. But yeah, when you pay for a package, it's not a deposit. You're actually paying for the package and it's not refundable, right? But really, you're getting an extra $200 to lose. Like you're paying $500 for the package and you're being able to lose $700. And so really, you're getting an extra $200. But it's not a deposit. Like it's not refundable. Like you can't pay for the $500 for the intro package and then withdraw that $500. Now, you can pay for the intro package, make $500 in profits, and then withdraw your percentage of that. But it's not a deposit. You're paying for the package. Yeah, the spread on TLRY is almost $2. Yeah, man. I mean, it's a $200 and something stock. And so, the spread's going to be kind of gnarly on it. Yeah, it's $1 right now. But yeah, if you want to find me on Skype, my Skype is beginner trading, I think, is my Skype handle. Somebody mentioned they wanted to contact me. Or you could just leave me a comment on YouTube. Yeah, no worries, Daniel. But yeah, guys, I'm going to go ahead and close the stream down now. I'm not going to jump into anything else. Look at TLRY drop. We'll see if I can rebound tomorrow. At this point, I got to understand that I got to be pretty selective. The volume's a little low, and I didn't really see any A+ setups except for GALT, but it wasn't tradable today. And so I gotta learn to be a little bit more patient and selective. And if I don't trade during the day, that's fine too. Yeah, Joshua. So I start every morning at about 8:40 is when I start the stream. So right here on YouTube, 8:40 in the morning is when I start the stream. 8:40 market time, and I usually stream until about 10:30 market time. Hey, appreciate it, Ender. Appreciate it, man. But yeah, I do it every weekday morning, every weekday right here on YouTube from 8:40 to about 10:30 market time, so Eastern Standard Time. And yeah, I'm not trying to act like an expert. I'm just a relatively new trader that finally started to make profits and turned profitable. And when I started to be profitable, I think it's cool that I can do it live on stream. Because a lot of people are saying that day trading is not possible to be profitable. Like some people say that you can't actually be a profitable day trader. And so the fact that I actually traded live on stream on YouTube and I'm a profitable trader and people can watch me do it, I think that's really cool. And it kind of shows that you can actually be a profitable day trader. It's just about good risk to reward. Another thing is back testing your setups. If you back test your setups, like the reason, what's the ticker name for Corbis? But if you backtest your setups, the reason the VWAP fade setup has been so profitable for me is because I actually backtested the setup. I went through and I looked at the data from the past year on all the stocks in my watch list, and I marked how many times it worked and how many times it didn't work. And when I backtested it, it gave me a 73% accuracy rate if it follows those conditions I mentioned before. And so I don't think it's also a coincidence that my trading accuracy has been hovering right around 65-75%, right around that 73% backtesting percentage. And so, backtesting I think really is the key to trading. If you're new to trading, backtest your strategies. I've always said, don't trust me. Be skeptical of me. Backtest the setups yourself. That way you know if they're going to work or not. Because if not, if you don't backtest them yourself, you're trusting something online, and it's essentially a coin flip. You don't know if it's going to work or not. But if you backtest your setup, you actually know if the setup has an edge in the market. And I kind of sound like a broken record with backtesting. I really do think it's the key to trading. It's what helped me kind of turn a corner and be profitable. But yeah, guys, I'm going to go ahead and close the stream down now. Good luck for the rest of the day. I'll be back same time as always, 7:40 a.m. market time tomorrow morning. Hopefully I can rebound some, but no worries if I don't. I took 2 small losses today and yesterday. Both were in the teens. I think yesterday was like 16, today's 12. And so really small losses. I'm perfectly content with that. Of course, I'd like to have a profitable day, but I'm keeping my losses small. That's the important thing when I do have losses. So I'll be back same time as always. If you haven't already, hit the subscribe button. I day trade live on stream right here on YouTube every weekday morning. So don't forget to hit the subscribe button if you want to check that out. Also, if you want to do me a favor, click the like button right now on this video. It does help support the channel, and I appreciate any support I can get. So if you appreciate this content, click the like button right now. And yeah, guys, good luck for the rest of the day. I'll see you all tomorrow morning, same time as always. Have a good day.